Hey Switchheads, welcome back. My name's Kanan and this is my review for Estranged, The Departure. A story action adventure with some shooting and some horror elements. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that link below to the community Discord channel where we get up to all sorts of streaming on there, all together and all voiced. And so with that, let's find out whether Estranged has what it takes to shoot its way to the Wall of Fame, or whether it stumbles in the dark and ends up on the Wall of Shame. Or maybe somewhere in the middle. Gameplay. First off, as you can see, Estranged is a first-person game, much in the similar vein as Half-Life. The story is pretty decent and is explained more and more as you go on, all voiced through radios and through actual people speaking to you. It all unfolds in front of you as you move from location to location, and I thought the pacing of the actual game and the story was quite well handled. It's the sort of story where you crash on an island and then it's up to you to find out what the actual mystery of that island kind of is, and it's quite well done. And no, I'm not going to spoil it, so meh. And so, whilst playing the game, you'll be tasked with different things like running, jumping, shooting, meleeing things, stacking boxes and the like so you can climb to higher areas, going into vents, avoiding turrets, using cards, using computers. Trust me, the list does go on. It's quite a astonishing amount of things you can do in this game. Unfortunately, it does stumble on some key features, like the AI is not quite that good all the time, and sometimes seems more interested in attacking something that's not quite there rather than attacking actually you. Now and again you would get stuck in the scenery, which doesn't really help when you have to do things like get from one area to another through water by swimming and then out and then cross and then have to jump onto a ledge. You can adjust the draw distance in this game, but I will say that in certain parts there's a fair bit of pop-in that goes on. Sometimes in parts of the game it's not quite obvious what you're meant to be doing and you could be wandering around for a little bit confused and not knowing. And I've had a couple of times where the frame rates dropped, not significantly but enough that you notice it. And after all of that, you'd be thinking, I hate the game, but I really don't. What it does do is it entertains you. It actually is quite good fun to play. It does have extras to it, like a target practice room and also like a horde mode. And I really wouldn't recommend you playing them. Stick to the main story. Graphically, it's very Half-Life-ish. It goes from looking extremely stunning to sort of like places that are kind of underwhelming. I find it incredible in some bits where you could be inside a building, looking out for ages, finding your way around, doing this, doing that, and then the next part of it you'll be outside that building, looking in at the exact places where you were wandering around, and that kind of like just blew my mind. It was amazing. I really did enjoy that. I'm not going to show it on here because you can go and look at it yourself and you'll be just as amazed. Whereas the visuals can be a little hit and miss, I would say they're more hit than miss, and I did enjoy them. And certain little things like you can press on the like vending machines and they'll like throw something out at you. You can pick quite a few things up, like cups. You can pick boxes up and balance them on other boxes, then jump on them to get to other areas. There are really some nice little touches graphically in this game. I think this can be seen sometimes where it's loading in the next part and now and again it will just stop, say loading, and take a little bit of time and then you're thrown back into the game. Again, there's so much to see and do here, and the different environments and areas are just so different from each other. It really does help push you on in the game and make everything feel fresh as you're going along. And I feel it's something that you really need to experience rather than me just blabber on about it. As far as the audio is concerned, it is almost as competent and it does have a nice score. All the sounds are correct and there. I feel nothing really special or anything has been done with the sound, but it is competent for what the actual game needs and what I presume they were going for. The good. Well, all said and done, I do like the visuals. They do look good on the whole. I love the fact that it's voiced, which really does help the actual gameplay a lot. And I like the fact that there are environmental kind of puzzly bits as well. The bad. The AI is kind of janky and really does need a patch. The pop-in isn't really a problem, but obviously we would prefer it if it wasn't that way. And getting stuck in the environment isn't ideal, especially when you have to get through things really quickly. The score. Now, I bet you're thinking that I'm going to give this a really low mark and say that it's really crappy and you shouldn't buy it. Well, I'm not. This is actually a really good game and I have had so much fun with it. So much so that I would actually enjoy playing another game by this developer. In fact, this is only one guy who developed the whole thing in just over 6 years, and that's no reason to buy it just because of that, because this isn't a talent show, and it's the gameplay and everything that really does matter, not what went into the game. I know. To be completely honest with you, if they had patched this, or if it gets a patch for the said mentioned problems that I had with the game, this I would easily give a 4 out of 5. Easily, just straight off, 4 out of 5. But as it stands right now, it's a 3 out of 5. But I'd say a quite highish 3 out of 5. And I would still, for the price, the low, just under £5 price tag that goes along with this game, I would say go and buy it if you're into this genre. As it truly is a testament that even with its fault, I still really enjoyed this game. And really do think that you should go out and buy it if you're really into this sort of genre, because it really is a good game. My alternative would be Outlast 1 or 2, preferably 1. I've played it, I really enjoyed it, it gave me so many scares. You don't get to shoot a gun, but it is actually really good. It made me jump several times. Any comments you may have, leave them down below, that's where they belong. Or you can jump onto our Discord, link below, where we do weekly streams, gaming sessions, community reviews and all sorts, because life is better when we switch together.